Ona tataku na yo. You guys see that? The guy was hitting that girl. Okay, hey, I'm on the bicycle as requested. People have asked me for this, and we're using a new chest mount, so I can move the camera like this or like this. Whoops! Get back, car! The car almost hit me. See that? Lawsuit there. Okay, hey guys, it's Victor. I got the mic taped to my chest here, and I'm using a gooseneck. We're running the red light. A gooseneck pipe connected to my chest. It's a short one, so it doesn't bounce too much. But maybe it's still bouncing too much. I don't know. Yeah, I guess it bounces too much. But this is a laundry video, and it's a quick one. Maybe 20 minutes as I go to work. Suicide, as you can see by the title. This is the kind of video that cannot be monetized because YouTube doesn't like this kind of video. I'll have to change the title so it doesn't have the word suicide in it, but just so you guys know. About a week ago, I guess, I talked about this before. Alan Garcia committed suicide. Alan Garcia, for those of you who don't know, which is probably the majority of you, was the president of Peru. Twice, actually. He, way back in the day, he was president, and then he got kind of drummed out of Peru on a scandal with a little cop. And then he went away to Brazil and licked his wounds, and then came back and became president again, elected again. And then he ran one more time, but lost pretty badly. Anyway, there's a Brazilian, I believe it's a Brazilian, construction company named like something like Odebert or something. And there was a scandal where he was, a lot of people were arrested and indicted and blah, blah, charged with taking bribes. This company, hands out lucrative contracts, or gets lucrative contracts, and he was helping them get all these lucrative contracts, apparently for kickbacks, stuff like that. So anyway, and about a week ago, the judge ordered, I believe, nine people arrested, and he was one of them, who went up to his bedroom, took a gun, and shot himself in the head. And I was discussing this with, I have a family chat group on Facebook where just my family talks, and we're culturally pretty much American, but, I was born in Peru. My sisters were born in America. And I've lived in America basically my whole life, Well, now I can say that about Japan. I've been in Japan, I guess, most of my life now, but before coming to Japan, I lived in America for about 21 years, and just 1 year in Peru. So I'm culturally pretty much American. For those of you who don't care. Peru, though, the way Peru works, I'll go through here just for you guys. The way Peru works, though, they're exercising. Look at these guys. They're doing radio taisou. Radio taisou. Look at that. That's cool, huh? Oh, kimono shop. Oh, nice. Oh, over here, too. Construction workers, too. Look at that. Cool. Whoa! Almost ran into somebody. This thing working? Yeah, good. Okay. Anyway, so my family group has a chat room and on Facebook and Messenger, I guess. And we were discussing. It was just brought up, like, oh, he committed suicide. Oh, and he's an ex-president of Peru. We're all, I guess, Peruvian. So let's go to a more interesting road for you guys. I'll take this. It's a nice road, right? Anyway, one of the members, I won't say who, said, "Oh, cool, look at that. What is that place? Come back and visit. Look at that. What is that place? Come back and visit." He said that it was, you know, heroic because he took his life into his own hands, and he controlled his fate. And my opinion on that was, what? That's effing ridiculous, you know. I think he tried to compare it to samurais and such. And I was pretty disgusted. But the problem is, I don't remember the research, but I remember thinking back in the day, I think when I first came to Japan, that there was that you could compare suicide. These are beautiful little houses, huh? You can compare suicide with I mean, that all suicides are basically the same, but they're not. I mean, and I don't remember the reasons why exactly. Maybe someone can help me in the comments there. I should have done that before. Maybe I'll make a part 2 video. It's basically a bicycle riding video anyway, so let's go this way. German flag, I think. There is a difference between the reason samurai committed suicide and the reason other people commit suicide. And of course, I put something on Facebook asking what situations did people think suicide was acceptable, and most everybody said that if you have a terminal illness, and I would agree with that, basically. If you have a terminal illness, then, you know, instead of suffering, just kill yourself and end the suffering. Or someone wrote, actually, Softy Papa used to be a YouTuber. I guess he still makes YouTube. He said that he thought, oh, that's the light. Yeah. He said that he thought that if it was going to be a long and costly illness, like basically drain the family's wealth before he died, there's no point in doing that. You just kill yourself. He would kill himself. So I agree with that. Those are both, you know, I mean, acceptable, and even that one, you know, to save your family from losing all that money. I would even say that's kind of noble. Oops. But Alan Garcia, you know, was going to be arrested on bribery charges, and he didn't want to go to jail. So I'd say it's basically, you know, he took a coward's way out. I mean, but in my family group, the argument was made that the argument was made that, you know, it was a courageous thing to do, and he was controlling his fate. But I just didn't get that at all. In my eyes, if you're sorry for what you did, then you need to make amends. And the best way to do that is to, you know, accept your punishment. First of all, admit your wrongdoing and accept your punishment. And that's it, you know. Another comparison was made with O.J. Simpson, who was, you know, the argument was that he was too chicken. O.J. Simpson wanted to commit suicide, but he didn't. He was too cowardly to commit suicide. And he ended up, you know, oh yeah, I'm sorry, let's go back to Alan Garcia. Another reason he was courageous is because instead of costing the taxpayers money and, you know, making everybody pay for a trial and lawyering up, etc., he killed himself, so he's courageous. But, you know, if he were really courageous, he would have admitted his guilt, not lawyered up. I mean, you got to get a lawyer anyway, but okay, you get a lawyer and you tell the lawyer, I plead guilty. Throw yourself on the mercy of the court and accept whatever punishment they decide. That should be your punishment. And then you make amends, right? And pay back the money too. Pay back the money is important. Making amends. You gotta make amends. Pay back the money. And like O.J. Simpson, he lawyered up and he got off. Not courageous at all. He never admitted guilt. He never made amends. He just got lucky. You know, he got a jury that believed his bullshit, I mean, he did get sued, and I guess maybe he's paying back some money. I don't know. I'm pretty sure he was able to squirrel away his money in a way to protect it, so he can live without having to pay back the victims, even though he had that civil court. We gotta get some. Look at this old woman. Wow, gamate. The foreigners there. Let's see, we're at the red light here. Okay. Anyway, but what bothered me, smokers, smoking corner. Oops. What bothered me about the whole argument was that you can compare it to samurais committing suicide, which is just not fair. I mean, samurais committed suicide, and it's a ritual called seppuku, or harakiri, which harakiri literally means cutting your stomach. And it was a public act. You are seconded with someone would second you, and as you cut, right when you got towards the end, they'd cut off your head. And it was a public act, and you know, it was done for various reasons, probably too often. But it wasn't done because, you know, you didn't want to go to jail. That never happened. It was done because you fucked up, or you were deemed to have fucked up, even if you hadn't really, you know. Sometimes you just have to do it because your leader, whoever you're taking orders from, you had failed them or something, or you lost a battle. I don't know exactly. But the point is, it was a public act. It was a public act, or it was a ritual act. You know, there's a lot of history behind seppuku. It's not like, oh fuck, I'm gonna go to jail. I don't want to go to jail. I'm gonna just kill myself. Though, I do question why Alan Garcia could so easily, quickly do it. It feels like if I got caught by the police, I think I'd have to put some time into it. Like, they come into my house to arrest me. I don't think I could that easily decide that quickly to shoot myself. It's gonna be a little more difficult. I guess maybe he was prepared. He knew right away, I'm gonna kill myself. Anyway, the samurai, they had it's a completely different thing. For those of you you can look this up. I don't know exactly, but I believe that a good seppuku is supposed to be, it's courageous because it's fucking difficult to do. You slice your stomach first horizontally, from side to side, maybe right to left or something, right? You cut that part open, and then you do a vertical cut. If you still haven't, you know, fainted from the pain or keeled over already, you do a vertical cut, and then one of your buddies will cut off your head, and that's a good seppuku, right? That's a good one. Oh, look at the flowers here. We'll go through the park for you guys today. How are we doing with time? Yeah, look at that. Oh, wow. Let's do a quick trip into the park. Stalk a woman. What do you think? But anyway, I was pretty, sand. Whoa. I was pretty annoyed, people feeding cats here and shit, with that comparison of Alan Garcia's suicide to that of a samurai. That's just not the same. Anyway, I mentioned in a previous video that I saw 2 movies recently that made me think about redemption a little bit. One of them was The Mule, starring Clint Eastwood. And he didn't even really do anything that bad. He just like transported drugs. And he was poor. It was basically, apparently based on a true story, but at the end of it, you know, they caught him. Okay, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. At the end, they catch him, and he agrees to plead guilty to all charges. He doesn't fight it at all. And his lawyer's like, no, don't do this. And he's going to go to jail, you know, for the rest of his life, probably, because he's effing old. But he accepts it. And you see him at the end working in the garden in jail, and he's kind of come to some kind of peace. He seems peaceful. He seems quite, I don't know, at peace with his decision. That was interesting. And then another movie I saw, it's about I believe it's about the Oxford Dictionary, the making of it, with Mel Gibson and Sean Penn. And in that movie, Sean Penn plays a schizophrenic who thinks that he's being stalked by someone, and he makes a mistake and he kills an innocent man. He goes to jail, but he actually goes to an asylum for the criminally insane. But during his time there are some moments he has of lucidity, and during moments of lucidity, he's an ex-soldier from the Civil War, and he gives his pension to the widow of the man that he killed. And they become kind of friends. And he teaches her to read. I don't know how much of this is based on a true story, but in the movie, she says, what if, something about love, like if there is love, he asks him. And his answer is there can be no redemption. So he feels like he doesn't deserve love because he killed her husband. And if she loves him, then it means he gains, right? In a way, like he ended up gaining from the murder, and he doesn't feel like he deserves redemption. He wants to be redeemed, and the only way to be redeemed is to suffer. And actually, in a way, to be hated, right? By her and her family. In the movie, the woman's got I think 6 kids or something, which is kind of insane. I mean, I don't know how anyone did that. 6 kids. There we go. Anyway, but the point is, there are ways to redeem yourself, I think. Not always, but maybe some things are unforgivable. But yeah, I think shooting yourself in the head because the cops are coming for you is not the way, in my opinion. Here's a yogurt lady. See this lady? A quilt. So this old woman, she makes a living by going to offices and selling yogurt, and hopefully they buy from her. Pretty sad. I think it's a pretty tough job. But if you don't have a pension, any money left. There's a Gaijin over there. Oh. And red light, still safe though. Okay. And here we go. Okay. This is 100-meter road, which is well known in Japan as being the widest road in Japan. I don't know if that's such a big deal. I mean, I think in other countries it wouldn't be that big a deal. Anyway, that's pretty much all I got for you. Just wanted to sound that out and test out my new rig, which I don't know if I think it might be a little bit too much bouncing. You guys can let me know. Oh, really working on that yard, huh? Look at that. I saw this guy yesterday. So just so you see how this works. Here's my face. Whoa, wait a minute, I almost hit some guy. You look right up my nose. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. I'll let you see the view instead of me. But let me know what you think about suicide, and if you're gonna go to jail, I mean, you can't, I mean, I'm not saying you shouldn't commit suicide, but if you're gonna go to jail, if you don't wanna go to jail, yeah, okay, go ahead, commit suicide. But you gotta admit, it's a chicken shit thing to do. And if you think it's courageous, please let me know in the comments why. Because, you know, as you just heard, I would have to disagree. don't think it's courageous at all. All right, guys. So I took a long way. I gotta circle back and go to school now. Oh, here's a Koban police station. Okay, thanks for watching. Talk to you guys soon. Okay, a little postscript on that video. I was talking well, some of my students are actually teachers at other schools, like high school. Anyway, there's this old guy I teach, and he's a high school teacher. And he said, I really want to ask you about what foreigners think when they see sakura or hanami, when they go to hanami. And he said that there are a lot of the ideas of what hanami is are based on bushido. So I don't really have much information about this, but apparently, the falling of course, many of you have probably heard that the falling of the leaves represent the shortness of life and things like that. Our life are like cherry blossoms, and they blossom and bloom and then they fall. It's just it's a hue or a metaphor, an analogy for life, a metaphor. Anyway, but then I thought I took advantage of he knows about bushido, right? He was talking about all these ideas about bushido and how Japanese men know about this stuff. So I don't know about Japanese women. Hey, you guys, do you know anything about that? You listening? Do you know anything about sakura, hanami, and bushido? Any big connection there for you? No? Not really? Okay, so maybe just men, who knows? Or maybe just this one guy. But anyway, I asked him about suicide. And he said that, one reason samurais committed suicide back in the day was to prevent zokumetsu. And as you can tell by the kanji here, the first kanji here is kazoku, or family, and the second kanji is extinction. So in the old days, if a samurai did something bad and dishonored his name or himself or something, or did something against a family, they would put not only him to death, but his whole family to death. And one reason for that was that if you didn't do that, the son would grow up and get revenge, right? So to prevent that, some samurais would offer up their own lives as a trade-off. Like, okay, I'm going to honorably, you're going to let I guess it was an honor to be able to, it was considered a courageous thing then. You give up your own life and commit seppuku, and if you did a good job of it, they'd spare your whole family, and you wouldn't get your whole family extinct or killed off. Anyway, that was kind of interesting. Then he went off and he started talking about how a lot of this is maybe related to what happened back in China, or back hundreds and hundreds of years ago, before it came to Japan. But he said that when he watches like old dramas based on Chinese historic battles and stuff, that when someone screwed up in the military in China, like an old warrior, they would immediately offer themselves to death, offer their lives. Like, oh, I screwed up, let me kill myself for you. Please, let me kill myself, give me the death penalty. Give me the death penalty, just give it to me. And he said that by doing that by offering or asking your higher up to kill you for screwing up, you're basically giving them a chance to be lenient and say, no, I'm not going to kill you, but you're going to have to pay me some money. We'll clear it that way. But I don't know if that's really related to this here. But the offer of suicide was often used as a leverage point, used as leverage. And that's something that reminds me of something else about Japanese that's very different from Westerners, is that they will apologize even if nothing has been done wrong, like they over apologize, because that apology is used as giving a bit of yourself, and that's often that's used as leverage. And I think part of this is all connected to a ancient Chinese war philosophy on how to get things done by exposing like weak points, because you're counting on the honor of the other person to not follow through. So if you offer your life, like, go ahead and cut off my head. The other guy will like, okay, well, he's offering it. Your enemy will say, well, he's offering it to me, so I guess I've won. I don't have to go through with it. So you're counting on the honor of your opponent to save your own life in some ways. But anyway, in the case of suicide or seppuku, or it's not. The reasons are very different, and I explained the whole Alan Garcia thing to this old guy, this old teacher, and he said, no, that sounds like he was just running away. Anyway, That's all I got for you. Thanks for watching. Talk to you guys soon.
Give me a break, man. Give him a break because he sure deserves one. And when he's back from his break, you'll see his parts made in Japan. He is the modern man. So give him a break.
Bye bye. Yeah, bye.